We are here, children. The finale of Final Destination, numero 5. I was actually looking forward to this one, mainly because I haven't seen this one. So, right off the bat, what did I think of Final Destination? Was it as bad as the movie that shall not be named? Or was it way better than the movie that shall not be named? Or was it just okay? Well, I'm here to tell you that yes, it was way better than the movie that shall not be named, because if there's anything worse than that, oh, is it the best? It is tied for the best for me. Why? Because of the ending, which I will get into. Do I think Final Destination is good? Yes. Final Destination 5, yes. Do I think it's good? Yes. Do I think it's as good as 2? In some aspects, yes. In other aspects, no. But if somebody were to tell me that this is their favorite Final Destination movie, I'd be like, okay. Listen, it's not like somebody telling me Final Destination 4 is their favorite Final Destination movie. I mean, fuck. So, before we get started, Kevin, good sir, your thoughts on Final Destination numero 5?
I really enjoyed that film. I think it was, I would say, the second best. If not, I would say it's tied with 2 as the best. For me, I really enjoyed that film. It was probably one of the best ones they made. And it was quite the massive improvement from 4.
You can see that this is kind of like Dark of the Moon, Transformers Dark of the Moon. They really tried making this better. And you can tell. Let's start with the disaster. At first I was like, oh my god, again, another highway. But then, you see the disaster, it's actually kind of simple. It's not over the top. It doesn't try to be over the top. It's a pretty simple disaster, and I think it works for what it is. The effects vary in this disaster. Some of them are really good. One of my favorite kills has very good effects. It's the scene where the boss or supervisor guy, I don't know his name, I really don't care. The guy that gets covered in tar, that shit was incredible. First of all, that shit must hurt like a motherfucker. Second of all, the effect looked really good, especially when he falls, you see his skin peeling off. Oh my god, this shit was awesome. But then you get to kills like the one where the girl falls onto the flagpole, and it shows, first of all, this movie again was in 3D. They need to stop with this shit. It didn't work in the 80s with Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. It didn't work with this. Stop it. They do another 3D kill and the effects look like garbage. Absolute garbage. The scene where the guy gets the nails through the head, also the effects look really bad. And the scene where the last guy who sees the premonition dies, that looked horrible too. And it's actually really frustrating because some of the effects look really good. There's one there's one, I don't know his name, black guy. I'm just gonna call him that, and no, it's not like a joke, it's just I don't know his name. He's running on the bridge and he gets absolutely annihilated by a cord or something. I laughed my ass off when that happened. Absolutely hilarious. But Olivia's kill, when she falls into the water, she's like, oh, I'm safe, and then the fucking car absolutely destroys her. I loved it. I loved it. There were good kills in this movie, but the disaster itself is pretty cool. The movie, it's funny, the disaster doesn't happen for maybe 15 minutes into this movie, so I was sitting here, I'm like, wait, this is different. Normally with these Final Destination movies, it's, oh, disaster immediately, no build up, no nothing. With this movie though, they really wanted to, I guess, familiarize yourself with the characters Personally, I don't think it works because I don't think the characters in this movie are anything to write home about. I think they're just okay. But I can see what they were trying to do. I don't think it necessarily worked though because, again, there were very few characters I cared about in this movie. But you know, they tried. They tried. Big positive about this movie: the characters are all adults. They somehow heard me. They're not stupid ass teenagers in this movie. They're adults that make slightly smart decisions, except for one character, which I'll get into. I think all the acting is pretty not bad. It's actually pretty kind of decent for what it is. Reminds me of that first Final Destination film. I think they did a pretty decent job with the casting and acting. Most of these people just look like rip-offs of other people. Like, the main character in this movie, I swear to God, reminds me of Robbie Amell. Like, I swear to God. There was another character when ugh. There's so many. Let's talk about my least favorite character. Isaac, the guy with the glasses. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Not funny. That's another thing in this movie. They go for a lot of comedy. Some of it hits, some of it misses. Big time. Big time. Yeah, Isaac, he's annoying. All of his jokes were corny as shit. I didn't give a shit when he died. The kill, at first, I was ready to say this is the worst kill in Final Destination, but then they made up for it. When he gets a fucking Buddha statue dropped on his head, I laughed hilariously because of that. That was hilarious. I think the story in this movie works a lot better because it feels like a lot personal. I think it adds a little bit too much drama to a Final Destination movie. But the story moves nicely. The pacing, it never feels boring. The ending, not the final 3 minutes, which I will get into. The ending showdown with, what's this guy's name? Shit. Peter. I enjoyed that. I liked the concept of him having to kill somebody to save his life. I liked that. That was really good. And yeah, that's pretty much all they did with the story. The rest of the story was pretty much Final Destination shit. So, Kevin, your least favorite and favorite kills.
My least favorite kill was probably somewhere around the beginning disaster because it did kind of look wonky. I think the antagonist, I guess you can say, the secondary antagonist that tries to kill the main character at the end of the movie, his death kind of looked wonky. It looked like it was kind of set up to be just a kill and not just, oh, he's freaking the fuck out and then he gets killed. It was just like, he stared at the screen as he gets killed. It kind of looked weird. My favorite kill was... It was the boss that came in, and he was like, what the fuck is going on? And a freaking screwdriver and a wrench smacks him in both his eyes.
Yeah.
Made him look like reverse Cyclops.
I'll say this. The effects on the kills after the disaster are pretty impressive. They don't use a lot of CGI. At least from what I know. And if they did, it's very good CGI. So I just don't understand how they probably just filmed all the kills and they were like, oh wait, we gotta do the disaster, and they just half-assed it. It's disappointing. Let's talk about those kills. So, again, the kills are very good in this movie. The one kill that I thought was very creative was the laser eye kill. Oh my god, that was brutal. Oh no, actually no, not even. That was one of my least favorite kills because of the way it ends. It starts out really good. She gets like a laser through her eye. I was like, oh my god, that is brutal. But then she just falls out a window and dies. I was like, you couldn't have had that be a little bit better? It looked good visually. Another kill that I really liked was the gymnastics kill. That shit looked brutal. That shit looked brutal, bro. She does a fucking flip. All you hear is and her. Oh, nasty. That was a good kill. The Buddha statue kill was okay. I think it took a little bit too long to get to where it needed to go. And at first, when he just falls on those needles, I was like, oh, that's gonna be the worst kill. This is the worst kill in Final Destination. But then, when that Buddha statue fell on him, I laughed so hard. So that was a positive kill. The wrench kill was also very cool. My favorite kill would probably have to be the black guys when he's on the fucking bridge and that he's running and he just gets destroyed, bro. That shit was so fucking funny. Least favorite kill would probably be the antagonist kill in the pre-ignition because it just looked really stupid. It looked bad. The CGI was bad. Now let's talk about my biggest negative with this movie. The ending. The last 3 minutes of this movie. So I guess they were trying to be cool and say, oh, hey, guess what? This is a movie that takes place in the year 2000 and it takes place before all 4 Final Destination movies. Right? Let me take a sip of my cold beverage. I need to digest this real quick. Okay. So, they basically come out and say, oh yeah, this takes place before Final Destination 1, 2, well, it takes place within the time of Final Destination 1, and it takes place before 2, 3, and 4. And they're on a flight 180, and it shows the fight that ensues in the beginning of the movie. So you're like, wait, what the fuck is going on? So then, obviously, you know what's gonna happen. They're on the plane, they stay on the plane, you know what's gonna happen. The plane explodes, and they die. I don't like this. I don't. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, do I like that it connects, that it's like a big twist, like, oh, this happened in the year 2000? Yeah, I like that a lot. But it creates plot holes. Big time plot holes. For one, the technology that's used in this movie looks like the year 2011 when this movie was made, not the year 2000. It doesn't look like the year 2011. The world, they don't do enough to make this look like the world that would be in 2011. It just makes it look like the year, 2000. It just makes it look like the year 2011. So when that happened, I was like, wait a minute, what? How is that even possible? That was my issue with it. Kevin had issues with it too. What were your issues with it?
It was mainly because it was mainly with the coroner, because it was like when they first interacted with him after Isaac's death, I think. He was just like, oh, I've seen this happen before. I was like, huh? This was supposed to be a sequel. How have you seen it before when it never happened? So, I don't know. I had 2 guesses that I told Tyler right before we went through this. I was like, oh, either A, he transcends reality so much to the point where he's just like, he probably seen the other movies happen before they actually happened. And either that, or maybe there's just another prequel that's waiting to happen.
I don't know. I don't know. It was really disappointing for me. And also, I just didn't like how... I don't like it how in these movies, every time, they're like, oh... Like, when the disaster happens, and they find the person that saw it all happen, they act like it's never happened before. Bro, it happened 3 other... I know in this movie, it's a prequel, so okay. But in Final Destination 3 and 4... they act like it's never happened before. Meanwhile, it's happened 2 other times, or 3 other times. At that point, when somebody figures it out, they're like, oh, get like 7 caskets ready. I don't know. Those are my thoughts, our thoughts on Final Destination 5. I think it's a really good movie outside of the last 3 minutes. I think it kills this movie. We're done with Final Destination. Holy shit. A pretty fun franchise outside of Final Destination 4. That's painful in all the wrong ways. Our next franchise will bring some light and magic. Wink, wink. You'll find out what it is tomorrow. And sooner rather than later, you guys are going to find out what we're doing for the month of July. Can't wait for you guys to find out about that. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys enjoyed our Final Destination series. And be on the lookout for more reviews. And also live streams. On Friday, I will be streaming The Last of Us Part 2. So look out for that. And yeah, if you're staying home or whatever, stay safe and take care. See ya.